New year, new hair. So I decided I was gonna do another speedrunning video. Since my knee has been all kinds of messed up and I haven't been able to go to work, I spent a lot of time just sitting behind my desk or in bed or on the couch. And I'm a busybody, so it was not a fun time for me. And while I was sitting there with nothing to do, I decided that I could download a bunch of phone games and see how many of them I could speedrun. Now, my favorite kind of phone games are actually like idle games, which aren't really speedrunnable as far as I'm aware, or if they are, I'm not good at it. However, I do like a few of like the leveled games that are a little bit easier to speedrun. In this case, we're gonna do Wordscapes. I picked Wordscapes because I've done it before. With like Flow Free, I had done that a lot when I was a little kid. With Wordscapes, it's one of those games I like download, then get bored of and delete, then download and then delete, and then download and delete, and just kind of do that cycle over and over again. Really, I think the longest time I was playing Wordscapes is when I was competing with my then boyfriend about who could get to the next level the fastest, basically. But all in all, I usually end up deleting it because it doesn't really hold my interest for that long. It's a very fast-paced game, it's very level-based. I figured this would be a great one to speedrun. Just like I did with Flow Free, I turned on airplane mode so I wouldn't get any pop-up ads. Because of the layout of the Wordscapes, I didn't run into the problem of me dragging the side of my screen and forcing my phone to go back to the home screen, so that was really good. And I did allow myself to use hints because I also used hints in Flow Free, and even though I'm like better at Flow Free, I was like, might as well keep the rules consistent. And since I was trying to keep these two consistent, I originally was going to do the first 150 levels of Wordscapes. But there are a few things that I forgot about Wordscapes that made this run a little bit more challenging. The big one, I'm dyslexic. So word-related games are not always the easiest for me, and as much fun as I have doing Wordscapes, sometimes an obvious word I miss simply because I cannot read that well. Something else about Wordscapes is my phone's kind of old and kind of sad, and for some reason Wordscapes more so than Flow Free was like really slowing down my phone, going in between levels, or sometimes just the movements of my fingers were not getting picked up or being extra delayed and extra slow just because my phone's old and was having a hard time keeping up. Something else I forgot about Wordscapes, because I haven't had it on my phone for a few months, if not a full year at this point. I do get tired of it, and I get tired of it very fast. Like I said earlier, my original goal was to do the first 150 levels. The problem is, because of how long each level takes, due to my dyslexia, and just generally getting bored of basically doing the same words over and over again, I called it at level 100. So instead, this is a speed run of the first 100 levels of Wordscapes, not the first 150. So yes, I did change the amount of levels we were going to do in the middle of the run because I was getting frustrated and bored and didn't want to play anymore. And that might say something more about me than about Wordscapes. But the deal is, I had a really bad headache, and I was done reading. And when you see how long the speedrun is, I think you'll understand why I eventually just called it quits at 100 instead of going all the way to 150. So to do the levels 1 through 100, it took me about an hour and a half. That is too long to be playing Wordscapes in my opinion. Around the hour mark, I was getting frustrated because I had a headache from trying to decipher words when my dyslexia was literally doing the opposite. I was getting frustrated by how slow my phone was going, and that when you're trying to speedrun something, that's like really not great when your equipment isn't working right. I was frustrated because I was starting to remember why I didn't like this game. Also, something else that like really frustrates me about Wordscape specifically is they have like bonus words where you can find more words than are actually in the little crossword. And for some reason, I always pick those first. I never pick the right ones. I always pick the like fancy bonus words that don't actually count and you don't actually get any credit or points for. You get like maybe 1 coin, and then what's the point? Yeah, so about an hour in, I was incredibly frustrated and didn't want to be playing anymore. But I had a goal of 150, and I think I was at like level 70 something at that point, and I was like, why don't we just do 100 instead? Because I don't know if I can do like a whole 75 more levels. So, forgive me, I changed the rules in the middle of it. That being said, I did complete all 100 levels in under an hour and a half. Am I proud of the score? Not really. I feel like I could have done better if the phone was working. If I had gum or like candy or something, usually when I have something in between my teeth, it keeps me from getting a headache. When I'm reading or doing anything word related, I tend to grind my teeth because my brain is working extra hard to try and not only read but also decode whatever my dyslexia is doing to the words. So I grind my teeth and it gives me a really bad headache. So if I'm chewing gum or if I have like candy or something going on with my teeth to stop them from grinding, it usually helps my headaches. And I didn't do that because I didn't think this would take a fucking hour and a half. Like I said before, I usually only play this game when I'm being competitive against someone else, and when I'm being competitive against someone else, I'm usually really good at it, because I'm a surprisingly competitive person. You wouldn't think that about me, and in sports, I'm not that competitive, except for myself. I'm competitive with myself, but I'm not competitive against other people. But on silly, stupid things like math, or like spelling, or like word games, or like flow free, I'm pretty competitive with other people. I don't know why. I should see a psychologist probably. At the end of the flow free run, I said I wouldn't mind going back and doing another run with different levels or more levels or specialized levels. I will never do another Wordscapes run. I just had such a bad time. It just wasn't fun. There's really no reason for me to go back to it. I don't know what the record is for a Wordscapes of the first 100 level speedrun. I really doubt I got anywhere near number 1, and I really don't see me improving anytime soon besides getting a better phone, but my dyslexia is still gonna be a problem. I'm still gonna get bored of it, and I'm still gonna get frustrated. So yeah, I'm not gonna say I had a good time making this video, because I didn't. And I can't even say that I completed the run because I really did switch the rules halfway through. So all in all, I would say this was not a good example of a speedrun of Wordscapes or of me speedrunning phone games. Just like I did with Flow Free, I will put the actual speedrun, like the full speedrun, up by itself so it's not bogging down this video. And I have a bunch of other games downloaded that I will speedrun eventually. I just don't want to put too many speedruns back to back to back, especially since I'm not that good at speedrunning. And a lot of people don't like phone games, so. And also, I just want to talk about other stuff sometimes. But that's gonna be it for this video, and I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye! Also, I just want to point this out. This is empty. Normally I do actually have something in my mug, but I started recording before I filled my mug up with something, and I was already sitting down, and my lighting kind of blocks off my exit, so I cannot get out until I'm done recording, so this mug is empty.